Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review, and this time it is Luck and Strange by David Gilmour. Gone for the CD one here. This is an interesting album in many ways. Dave Gilmour said it was his best album since Dark Side of the Moon, and the internet and YouTube is awash with people saying it's disappointing or not everyone seems to like it. In fact, in the Now Spinning Magazine Facebook group, a couple of people have said it's not for them, or they feel it's disappointing or it's boring, or they know, how could he say it's like Dark Side of the Moon? He's completely wrong on that. What are my thoughts? I actually do think it's one of the best albums he's ever done. And describing it as his best album since Dark Side of the Moon, I think that's valid for him to say that. I really do. Because I think what David Gilmour has done here, and I think Polly Sampson also needs to be mentioned as well for her lyrics, is incredibly brave and open, courageous. Is it Michael DeBar always says courageousness? Because it'd be so easy just to do a collection of songs, but what you get here is that David Gilmour is in a reflective mindset here. He's looking back over time, and he's looking at where he is in time. And those lyrics are reflecting that completely. And also, his granddaughter's on here as well, singing on some of the tracks. If I just remember, if I get Romany Gilmour. And I want to mention that as well. And the fact he mentions all his, children and stuff, is that if you're watching this video as I review this and you're 25, let's say, we say 30, I can add 40 years to your life, and there's a good chance you'll still be here. And you can't even imagine going forward in your life to be at that point, probably. If you're nearly 80, you can't do that. When you look in the rearview mirror, there is more time behind you than there is ahead of you. But in case some of you again who are 25 watching this thinking, well, I won't feel the same then. Here it is, kids. You will feel exactly the same. Your body might feel a bit different, but how you feel, you'll have changed, you'll have grown, you'll be wiser, you'll have more experiences, but essentially, that 17-year-old version of you is just sitting behind me. Well, almost on the same chair as I'm sitting on now, really. Musically, also, Richard Wright is on here as well. He's playing keyboards on some of this stuff. Imagine what that must be like for David, that connection with Pink Floyd. He's opening up his heart here. And so, guitar-wise, playing-wise, production-wise, I think this is superb. And his vocals, they're reaching for the points that he wants to make. I think this, the opening track and title track, think about it. In the light before the dawn, shadows snake in my peripheral, memorize me, bring it on, heartbeats with fear here in the theatre of my soul. You see, I hope it will go on and on. Don't we all? And when the curtain call is done, morning always comes, and that's true. It will just carry on without us. It was a fine time to be born. D-Mob happy, street, free milk for us all. It was the right place to be sure, those dreaming spires and yep, oh so pastoral. Right time to be born, 1945-ish, wasn't it? The war had just ended. But everything was full of optimism. Everything was. The dreaming spires of Cambridge. But let's hope it's not just luck and something strange that went on, really. The one-off peaceful golden age. That dark thought in the dark. Because since then, we've had peace. We've had a time for young people to explore creativity and, the 60s and art and the record industry through the 70s and 80s and 90s. Let's say it just wasn't a fluke. Seek what you don't find, that it's a wasted life. Or the ancients dropped by to tell me, they drank me dry, but oh my, so far. And this particular verse, quite the time to be a boy. 6-string masters on an expanding universe. It was a high time, to be sure, soaring and free from the bounds of the earth. Quite the time to be a boy, to be a teenager, when Dave Gilmour was a teenager, with all those bands around him. The Yes, Purple, Zeppelins, Traffic, Free, The Who, or just ELO, just keep mentioning them. They all came out the same, literally the same period, all growing up together, all being teenagers together, making records, creating prog, metal, psychedelia. 6-string masters of an expanding universe. So many guitarists, all influenced by the blues, all looking over the shoulder. Hendrix, all these guitarists, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Richie Blackmore, Dave Gilmour, all knowing each other, all literally a community, creating the art form that we all love. But let's hope it's not just luck and strange, the one-off peaceful golden age. Time for this mortal man to love the child that holds my hand. Time to hold the child holds my hand. He's thinking about family, about the fact he won't always be able to do that. The passing of time from all his experience and now these young people coming up within his family. And the woman who smiles when I embrace her, Polly. These eyes stay dry, but oh, my guitar. His guitar is weeping from all his experience, but he's also appreciative of everything that is around him. And the promise of eternal youth, the spoils of fame, carpe diem attitude in The Piper's Call is another beautiful song. Single Spark is also beautiful as well, Between Two Points. But the other one that I want to mention is Dark and Velvet Nights. Because this is something that it's so honest, brutal in a way. I don't like to make promises I can't keep. I don't want to hurt this whole heart or wreck my sleep. Thinking how we will part. Will I hold your hand, or will you be left holding mine? Between this breath and then, there's this airlock of time. This airlock of time. That is really deep. And it is really, really moving. Because he's deeply in love with Polly, his life as it is now, but equally knowing that at some point, like all of us, it will end and we'll part. And I connect to that. You know, I love Sue, my wife, deeply. And I know that at some point, one of us will be saying goodbye to the other. And I think to put that in a song, without it sounding like dark and depressing, I don't want to know, denial, but I found that courageous. I also found it deeply moving, and musically, guitar playing, the way he reflects that is just absolutely incredible. David's guitar playing says everything musically that Polly is saying in her lyrics. And I think that's something else I want to bring to people's attention, not because I don't think you will have noticed it, is that Polly Sampson's lyrics are also incredibly observational, brave, open-hearted, vulnerable, that I think it gives David Gilmour the perfect foil. This is two people that love each other. And because of that, there's an extra, almost telepathic, dimensional aspect going on here between the lyricist and the musician, that they're the same person, although they're different beating hearts. And the way that David plays the lead lines around this, I just think it's absolutely marvellous. On Sings, That's another great track. Darling, turn back the clock. Give me time. Make it stop. Let's hold back the news. Stay inside this cocoon. I mean, how many of us sail away in my dreams, away on untroubled seas from this worn-out world that's torn apart at the seams? Growing up through the 60s and 70s, all the hopes and dreams, and now you turn on the news and it looks like the whole world is coming apart at the seams. That you just want to turn the news off, don't you? You just want to turn it off and stay in a cocoon, put on an album, open a bottle of wine, go and watch a sunset, go and sit with your grandchildren, or your family, hug your wife, hug your partner, be with your friends. And I think that's really what this album brings up. And all the other tracks I love as well. I just think it's great. And for those, I haven't seen any criticism about Romina Gilmour at all, but I think her voice is expressive, and I hope this is a little trampoline jump that people give her a chance to look at music as something she explores more. I really, really do. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Looking Strange. An absolutely beautiful album from David Gilmour. And Looking Strange, the Barn Jam, which is again how that track was kind of pulled together with Richard Wright on it. How that must feel for David to be doing that. I think it brings everything together. Let me know what you think. Be honest. I know I've waxed lyrical on this, but that's how I feel. And that's how this music has made me feel. But let me know in the comments what you think of it. It's okay. You know, and anyone else wants to reply to that, it's absolutely fine. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for being here. Music is the healer and the doctor. Take care, all of you. Please subscribe if you can. Become a Patron YouTube member. Buy some merch. But take care. And I wish you all well. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon.